לעצמו. אז אתה יוצא.
סגור, 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 סגור.
מצוין.
אז עכשיו זה מקליט?
כן.
Good. And what that?
I'm you flying today?
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, no. Tomorrow morning, have you again? I'm scared. I'm scoring. These guys are losing.
100%.
100%.
Everybody saw Victor was there. They all hear you. Now Victor was
No.
there. Well, the guys in Brooklyn. Victor's there.
There was one time you were here and you had a picture of me. I was behind you. And they said, wow, you're giving the class to the
What does the
rabbi?
rabbi need?
In the Netilat Yadayim, Shulchan Aruch.
Shulchan Aruch, Mishnah Brother?
I didn't see it.
No, all right, behind you, where that entire thing is Mishnah Brother. Then you got all the Mishnah Brothers.
Nah, Brula. Okay, let's see if we
Come
can.
You see it? What do you want?
Which one? Netilat Kufnun Chetu.
So you get the bet, Mishnah Brother bet. Yeah. Or you got which one? The rabbi is this one or this one?
Either one. Beautiful. Okay.
Coffee.
All right, let's get to business here. It's a small one.
Small one?
Yeah. I mean, not like the other days, but
Yesterday was,
yesterday was beautiful.
yesterday was.
Even Rabbi Bitan texted me, wow, you went through it again. Thank you. You went through it
Huh?
with the pasteurization. He heard the whole thing.
He's watching you. He's
He
watching.
definitely watching.
You know,
It was my boss. It
That's something.
was my boss. All this,
He's watching the event. He reads the class and he reviews the class and he went down to the so he critiqued him on the class.
yep.
That's great. What is 111, 112, Rabbi?
Yeah, today we're on 113 actually.
Yeah, I want to go bigger.
Okay, let me just put the Zoom on. We have some good stuff today. Every day. is
Every
good
day.
stuff.
You can't-
Every day is good.
Every day. is good. Every day.
Let's do the Zoom. Join. Okay, put this away over here. EJSS.
Rabbi, can you Netilat on the faucet, like in a plane, for instance? You can't get a cup, you can't do it. Open the faucet.
You need a keli.
Put-
You need a keli.
Amazing.
That's one of the.
It has the keli.
Yeah, Allah has a keli now.
They
That's
sit
great.
there.
That's good. That's our good
They
friends.
can't pull it out.
Yeah. Boker Ora Botai.
Very good.
Boker Orta Bekiim Bahalacha members. Welcome. Gentlemen in New York, do you hear us loud and clear? You hear us. Beautiful, wonderful. Okay, so in Bekiim Bahalacha, the Viko Mizrahi edition. That's the Fu'ash Shelema for Haim ben Mazal Ilna Rifan Alo Betoch Shar Choda Amo Yisrael that was dedicated by his boys that are committed to the daily study of Halacha. This is Bekiim Bahalacha 6, Danya Koel Alav Shalom edition. Ruach Hashem Tenichenu Began Eden Amen. Today we're on day 45. 45 has been dedicated to Fu'ash Shelema Shlomo ben Adel. Amen. We're on page 113, gentlemen and ladies, for that matter. One of the main rules when it comes to Netilat Yadayim, we were just discussing this before the shiur, is you need a keli. Netilat Yadayim. Some say actually the word netilah comes from the Aramaic word natla, and natla is a keli, and therefore you need a vessel. So therefore you can't just stick your hands under the faucet. That's not considered a vessel. Or let's say you would come along and you would cup with your hands. You take, let's say, with one palm, you'd go to the water. Let's say you even go to the lake,
Like this.
and you cup it. Yeah, exactly, Victor. You cup it with your hand, and you have it if you eat in your hand, and you want to pour it on the other hand, and you have it if you eat. No good. Why? Because you need a keli for the time. Now, where do we see this discussion? This discussion over here is going to be in Shulchan Aruch. We have it in front of us. Whenever we have the Shulchan Aruch, it's always good to read it inside. So let's read Shulchan Aruch Kuf Nun Het, and I think it's going to be in Halacha. Go slow, go slow. We're going to get everything.
I'm sorry, Rabbi.
Oh, so look what he says over here.
I'm running. You know.
Look what he says over here.
Stop.
He says over here, I want to get in the right siman. We're going to look at it in Shulchan Aruch. It is going to be.
Siman Kuf Nun Tet.
Yeah, let's see. Kuf Nun Tet. You have it in there? Yeah.
No.
So Maran writes in Aleph first. En notlim layadayim ela bechli. So that's straightforward. En notlim layadayim bechli. How do we know that? So the Mishnah Berurah says Bichlid asmechinu Rabbanan al mehatat, just like the para aduma. Para aduma, I had to have a keli, or al kiddush yadayim v'raglam b'mikdash. We just learned parashat kitisa. They didn't have the sink in the Beit HaMikdash.
Yes.
And from the sink, the kiyod.
Kiyod.
And the kiyod, they couldn't just wash their feet or their hands straight from the kiyod. They put it in a keli. And from the keli, they put it on their hands and feet. So therefore, we learn it from over there. So it's got to be done from a keli. Let's go slow for a second. So that 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Go slow. So he says over here,
Something for me.
Ela b'chli. Okay, continue. And it gives you all the different type of kelim that will be okay. It gives you all the different kelim. Continue. And then he says over here, I'm going to go to over here. Oh. Lo yitin maim nahavero bechofnav. L'chavav, like you said, doctor. You're not allowed to put water even on your friend's hands, bechofnav. So you're lapping the water with your hand and you're throwing it on your friend's hand. No good. She'en notim ela min hakli. Again, you need a keli. V'hu adin. Now watch what he says, Maran. Im natal yado achat keli. Let's say you wash your hands with a kli already. One hand, let's say. V'shafak mimena liyado acheret. B'kadush now. That means you use the kli, let's say. And you eat one on your hand, and now you have some leftover water that came from the kli. Did you throw it on the other one? Now this is a big different question. Because here you could argue, no, let's say you put it in your eat. And if eat fell on this hand's pure now. Okay? And now you put some more water, and you catch some more water with the eat. Now you want to transfer. Here it's a little different. Because I didn't start from my hand, I started from a keli. So maybe you could say, since it emanated from a keli, now I can already throw it on the other hand. That's the question of Shulchan Aruch. So I read you Maram. He says, V'hu hadin, im natal yado achat keli. You use the keli for one hand, let's say. V'shafach mimena liyado acheret. And then from there you pour it with your hand to the de'eno klum. Okay, how much is it worth, Michael? Eno klum, it's worth 0. Eno klum means it's not 5 cents. Maran says it's worth klum. Which is, Michael, that's why I knew you had a problem with it. That's what Shulchan Aruch is telling you. It's if somebody wants to know what's the value of that Netilat Yadayim, you tell them the value is 0. Eno klum. However, and this is very important to remember the Shita. The Rabbeinu Tam, Rabbeinu Yaakov from the Baalei Tosafot, his name wasn't Tam. That's not a name. His name was Yaakov. But they nicknamed him Tam because Yaakov ish Tam, Yoshevu Halib. So the Benu Tam, he said, Matir. Why? Since it emanated from a kli, therefore it's okay. Now, first, but he makes one condition. But you have to say that the first hand was tehorah. Because if the first hand is tame'ah, when you put the hand, when the water goes on that hand, it's tameh. So now you're pouring tameh water. So if you have to say the case was talking about you had a big cup. You poured it if you eat on this hand, and it became tahor. No, because if you eat makes it tahor. And you kept on pouring. You kept on pouring, and then you were able to catch another if you eat in this hand, and then you flipped it over to the other hand. Maran says, klum. The Benutam actually says, matov u'mana'im. There's nothing wrong with it. So therefore he says, as long as your first hand was still, now, we have a general rule when it comes to Shulchan Aruch. What Shulchan Aruch brings us the first opinion, which is what? Lo yitin. Then he says, v'rabenu tam matir bazeh. So he brings the second opinion. So the general rule is why we follow the first opinion of Maran. So why did he bring the Benu Tam then? To kavod. You know, the Maran was a very humble rabbi, and then we didn't want to reject the other opinions. He said, you should know there's another rabbi, the Benu Tam, that holds like that, but that's not our opinions. We don't hold like that. Although, look what the Ramah writes, the custom of the Ashkenazim is to be lenient like Rabbeinu Tam, strange thing. He says the custom of the Ashkenazim was to take Rabbeinu Tam. But the Ramah writes, but I don't like it. Really, they should follow the first opinion. And therefore he's basically trying to change the custom. He said, listen, the people are doing it, they're doing it. But they shouldn't practice it. So therefore, if you look at your Bekiim Bahalacha now inside, you'll see all this inside. Lo yud gimal. Lo yiten mayim lahavero behofnav. You should not wash your friend's hands with your palms. She'en notlim ela men hakeli. You need a vessel. Ve'hu adin im natal yado ahat me'akeli. Even if you used a keli for one hand, ve'shafak memena liyado ahat, then you poured from your hand to the other hand, like we said from the Benutam. De'eno klum. The Benutam matir bazo, like we just saw. The Benutam was lenient. Kevan shetechilat netila liyado ahat hayam men hakeli. Since it emanated from a kli, Vehu shaita yadori shunat teora. So long as the first hand was teora, like I explained to you, you had a big cup, you put it in vi'it on one hand, so the first hand is tahor, and you kept on pouring, and now you have another vi'it in this hand, came from a keli, and now you want to throw it on the other one. Rabbeinu Tam says, okay, Shulchan Aruch brings it down. Va'ikal halacha kedat rishona. The main halacha is like the first one. V'sarich l'shpok davka al shetei hayadayim. You have to pour on both hands. From a keli. Ve'im lo, en hashuva netila zug leklum. Hear this? Therefore, you should not be lenient on this. Umnam. Now watch what he says. What are you going to say? B'di'avad if he did it. This is a big question now. I'll tell you why it's a big question. Because we have a lot of points where he could have remembered that he shouldn't have done it. We have it before he dries his hands, before he makes the beracha, after he makes the beracha. At what point are we going to tell him that he has to go back and do it again with a keli? Or at some point are we going to say, listen, you did it when already like the minutam, kaparat avonot, next time don't do it again. We're never going to say that. Since Shulchan Aruch says eno klum, at every point we're going to tell the guy, do it again. But it's going to make a difference at what point. You'll see right now. What did he do? He washed one hand. He did exactly like Rabbeinu Tam. If he didn't dry his hands and he didn't make the beracha yet, of course. No, that's the easiest. That means he took the hand. He washed one with a keli, beautiful. Then he took the leftover water and did like this. And now he's ready to make the beracha. All of a sudden, the guy behind him says, "Yeah, what are you doing over here? You became Ashkenazi? You're following the Benutam. When did you become Ashkenazi? Moroccan or Ashkenazi? What did you become?" He said, "No." He said, "No, I'm not Moroccan. I'm not Ashkenazi. I'm a regular Syrian guy." They said, "What are you doing? You did this over here. You poured it on your hands." He said, "Listen, I went to the rabbi's class. I heard the Benutam. You became a student of the Benutam? When did you become a student? So in that case, he has no problem. Because since he didn't make the beracha yet, no damage. Go take the keli and pour it on your hand. So that's easy fix, by the way. But continue.
Right away.
Right. And if v'yachzor v'yitol v'yibarech. Ve'afim kevar birech al netilat rishona. Oh, now, let's say he made the beracha. Netilat Yadayim. Now the guy behind him says, "Hey, tipesh, lo kelum. What did you do? No problem." Remember we learned that according to some opinions, they used to make the beracha of Netilat Yadayim before they washed. Let's remember. No problem. So then you made the beracha, great. Now go make the Yadayim.
Do it again.
Because you can rely on those opinions that say the beracha is done first. So therefore, what you did till now, Michael, lo kelum. And now what? Netilat Yadayim. Beautiful. Don't talk. Take the keli, wash your hands, and you're fine. So there's a fix in that as well. So he says, עדיין לא ניגב ידיו, יטול ידיו שנתקדט וינגב. ואם בירך עד ידיים שלו וניגב ידיו, problem over here is, now let's say he dried his hands. That's the mitzvah is over. That means you did it like the Benutam, you made the beracha, and then you dried. Technically now, you're finished, which means you cannot do anything. So says Hakam Ovadia, in that case, don't talk, but I don't mean you, I mean the guy. The guy, don't talk. Touch your shoes. Touch your shoes. He says, touch your shoes. So now your hands are invalid. And make the Netilat Yadayim again without a beracha. So basically, they're never letting you get away with a Netilat Yadayim without a keli. They just tell you at each point you have a different way to fix it. If you didn't make the beracha yet and your hands are still, no problem. Make the beracha. If you made the beracha, no problem. Continue to make it again. And if you made the beracha and dried, no problem. In that case over there, you finished. No problem. Touch your shoes.
No better
No-
hand wash.
No beracha. And then wash and we're finished. And if we says over here, Ve'im nigev yadav, ve'lo birech al netilat yadayim rishona. Now let's say he didn't make the beracha. Let's say he dried his hands and didn't make the beracha. Then he can make the beracha on the second washing. Yitol netila bekeli ve'yazov v'yitol shenit beberacha. So therefore, these are all different. The lesson that you have to remember from this is it doesn't count. And therefore, they're not going to say, I thought the Chacham Avidah was going to say, listen, if you did it, kapara. No, they're not saying kapara. But if you did it, lo kelum. And there was, so remember, there's a big rule in Netilat Yadayim. You need a keli. Now, the second rules over here is going to be as far. So the notes on the bottom really basically say the same thing. It said a benutam, but against the benutam is the Rashba. With the Rashba, you have the Rambam. So therefore, you have two opinions like that. And Hakam Maran took that opinion. Kaf HaChaim also said that one has to do it over again in the proper way. Or, like we said, the note is exactly on the bottom. The second case we say today is a very important halacha. It's called the law of koach gavra. What's it koach gavra? Koach gavra means like this. The water has to come from the power and the strength of a person. That means it cannot just flow on him. It has to come from the strength of a person. Simple. When you take a vessel and you pour it on your hands, it's your koach. It's coming from koach gavra. However, let's say there was a rain that was leaking off the roof, and you just stick your hands underneath it over there, and it went in the gutter. So even let's say the gutter is a keli, let's say, okay? The gutter is a keli, also the v'yit. Fine. And it's coming from the gutter, and you're just sticking your hands under the roof over there, and you're catching it. No good, because that's not koach gavra.
But if you put the gutter before,
You put the gutter, but the water, no. In Hilchot gutters, you're right. You would say the gutter. The gutter has koach gavra. But a mayim that's coming from the gutter, it came from the shamayim. It came in there, and it's coming down, trickling down by itself. In that case, it's not going to be legitimate. Let's open up Shulchan Aruch, gentlemen. Kufnun tet tet. I have it right over here. You ready? I mean, kufnun tet tet. Oh, good she'elah. We'll get to it now. We'll get to it now. There's not no hasil monkeys. Look at halacha. Look at halacha tet. Habit sheyesh bo mayim. Okay, habit v'la barich. Habit sheyesh ba mayim. You have a habit. You have a barrel that has water in it. Maniha al birkav. Okay, you can put it on your lap. V'notin b'mena leyadayim. Probably it's a big barrel, so you put it on your lap. And you tilt it this way, you tilt it that. It's a big barrel. Yeah, no problem. You're saying, but it has to come from your koach. You have to tilt it. Fine.
Yeah.
The maita muta ba'aris. Let's say the barrel was already tilted. Was tilted already. The hamayim mikaltim mimena. And the water is just dripping out, flowing. Or she'omedet v'amam yotzim derech nekev sheba. Or the other way, there's a spigot. Somebody came along, opened the spigot. Now you see, oh, beautiful. There's water dripping over here. You stick your hand underneath. Venatan yadav sham, and you put your hands there. Lo alta lo netila. No good, because that's not koach gavra. That's coming by itself. No good.
You said it, but other case when you're sitting on your lap, you're pulling it.
That's why it's good.
That's good.
That case is good. Very good.
Spout's no good.
Baruch. ואם הייתה ברזה בנקב וסירב כאילו המים על ידיו, חשיבה כוח גברה, וסירק לחזירה וזה בכל שפיקה ושפיקה. And then Maran says, let's say you have a barrel, and you pull the plug out, and when you pull the plug out, water comes out. So that will be good for each netira. The first time you pull it out, the water that comes out is your koach gavra. But the next flow is not.
But you plug it again.
That's what you have to do. You got to plug it, pull it out, catch it. Plug it, pull it out, catch it. So Beres
It's not a spout.
is not. The problem is the Beres is not a keli. That's the problem. A faucet is not a vessel. The faucet is not a vessel. The pipes are connected to the house. The 5 pipes are connected to the house. The house is karka.
The faucet itself is from the pipe.
But it's all connected to the house. All connected to the house.
When we do is koach gavra using the
So you need, so Rabotai, you're doing unbelievable. Rabotai, you're doing unbelievable. You're going to see over here the whole story. Look at Maran, and look at the Yudala, gentlemen. Sarich shiavo hamayim mikoach noten. It has to come from the koach of the giver. Because you have to have a power of the guy who's washing. Lefichach hadole mayim minayor. Guy draws water from the yeor, from the water, from the ocean or the lake. V'shofek v'noten letok sinor shel mayim. He doesn't put it on his hands. He pours it into a pipe, and then the pipe flows, and he puts his hand at the end of the pipe. That's not koach gavra. No, koach gavra was when he drew it out of the water. But the koach gavra has to be on his hands. The water that's coming from the pipe is not koach gavra. His koach gavra was in the pipe. And what's causing the water to come down? Is it gravity?
Right.
Gravity is not koach gavra. So
So initially that he did by himself, no,
Right,
because the middle term.
very good, Ronan. Which is the koach gavra has to come from the cup
Already doing his
on his hands. Now, even though there was a koach gavra, who took it out of the water? He did.
Him.
It's koach gavra. Not only that, who poured it in the pipe? He did. But his koach gavra ends. It ends in the pipe. And therefore the rest gravity takes over. And therefore, watch what he says here. Let's say it's to give irrigation to the field. You cannot put your hands over that pipe so the water will flow. The koach of the shofech of the guy that poured is finished. When is it finished? Once he pours it into the pipe. Now what happens? It takes over. What takes over? The gravity and the slope. Of course, if let's say, as the guy's filling up this irrigation system, as he's pouring, the guy puts his hand under the bucket. Oh, that's good. Because he caught it before it went into the pipe. That's koach gavra. Very good. That's what he says. Ve'im mesim yado karov le'makom ha'sheficha. He puts his hands next to the place of the sheficha. Even though he didn't put it mamash underneath it, al ta'alu netila. Dechozman shem kiruvim le'makom ha'sheficha adayin mekohohem ba'im. Very good. So as long as it's close to the place where he poured it, it's considered koach gavra. Ve'im hitbil yadav le'tok hasinur hazeh enam terod. Now let's say the guy has another idea. The rabbi told us once that if you go to the ocean or to the lake, you can do Netilat Yadayim.
Yeah.
I told you the guy, one time he was on the beach. He calls me up. He was in the submarine deal. He calls me up. He says, Hakam, I'm on the beach. I have a tuna fish sandwich. There's no water. What do I do? I said, do me a favor. Put on your glasses. Look straight ahead. What do you see? It's the Atlantic Ocean. So what do you tell me there's no water? There's 8 billion gallons of water over there. What do you tell me there's no water over there? He says, oh, that counts? Here's what it counts. If ladies need dash, you can go dip in the Atlantic Ocean. You can't make the Atlantic Ocean? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, so what should I do? Walk to the ocean and now dip your hands in. You don't have to do 3 times. Dip your hands in the ocean like you would make tevilah. Lift your hands up. Al tevilat yadayim. Not netilat yadayim. Once. One time. I'll do 3 times. 3 times. He said, I can make the beracha. Of course you can make this. Make sure there's no ladies walking around over there. I don't know what type of beach he was on. But the point is, that's another question. He didn't see that question he doesn't ask. He asked Netilat Yadayim. He's more mahmir than Yadayim. Another question. I have no problem. I have no problem.
You can't be mahmir and everything.
Exactly. He can't do everything. No, but I should have told him he should dip himself in the ocean himself if he wants. You know, something, don't come up. Exactly. Stay down for a couple of minutes. Anyway, but the point is, in that case, it's okay. That's a great Netilat Yadayim. It's a Tevilat Yadayim. So there's always one. So the guy's thinking now, what Rabbi Mansour taught us, you could dip your hands in the water. So now, no, in this pipe over here, the rabbi said, koach gavra. So I can't put my hands at the end when it's leaking out. I'll stick my hands in the pipe itself. Problem is, that's not a mikveh. Exactly. It's not a mikveh, that pipe, which means you need 40 se'ah of water, and it has to be 40 se'ah collected, not she'uvim. When we build a mikveh, we built the mikveh in our synagogue. One of the ways you have to make sure is that it comes from the rainwater. But from the rainwater, it cannot go through a vessel.
It's to be to
So,
another.
so it's got to go straight from the roof. And the way we build it is we don't build any pipes that are considered vessels. So we don't build it out of metal or things like that. We build it out of material that would not be considered according to the halakha vessel. So it goes straight from the roof into this drain, into this pipe, straight down to the basement, into the board. And we have to make sure that there's no, It's, I'll tell you the material. No.
Plastic?
It's like a plastic that they use, a plastic piping. Plastic piping.
Plastic.
What is it called?
PVC.
PVC. Hazak Baruch. PVC. And at no point is it flat where it can hold water. So from the roof all the way down, it goes straight down. It's a straight motion all the way down into the board. So it will not collect any water. PVC, exactly. That was Rabbi Trigger told us.
And
to
you
do.
put a filter before it so the water doesn't bring.
Yeah, there's no problem. We have actually a filter in the top, so the debris doesn't go in. But the point is, it's got to come in without a keli. So in this case over here, otherwise it's called maim she'uvim. Now I'll give you an example, just so you know how maim she'uvim is. The guy who built Amikveh in the shul is Rabbi Trigger. He's the expert on mikvaot. In our shul, actually, we were almost able to have a ma'ayan like the Arizal. Because as you know, we had water underneath the ground. We hit water at we
When
hit,
you built it.
yes, we
when you
hit
started
yeah,
the
but
building.
so there's water at 11 feet. Now that water is a natural wellspring. That's a ma'ayan. It's natural or the Arizal. So technically we could have built the mikveh by leaving the hole in the ground there and let the waters just come up from underground, and then that would be the best mikveh that would even work for a zav. Because a zav, it's not enough to go to a mikveh. Zav, it says Maim Hayim. Maim Hayim there's only 2 or 3 of them in Brooklyn. In Williamsburg, they have them. So we will do it. He says, you can do it. You have the water. Only problem was the contractors didn't want to leave a hole in the ground. They felt it's a compromise to the structure of the building. If the water comes up, who knows what, on a rainy day or there's high tide, we can't stop it. So therefore, they said,
It took you longer to build that.
100%. It was because of the water.
Kira, this question, but isn't it rats not come also?
Is it what?
Rats.
Not even.
That wasn't his concern. That wasn't his concern. It's possibly. It's possible. It's possible, but they would die. I don't know how it would come up. You can't drink
Yeah.
it. The water was so strong, the pressure of the water. In the Arizal's McVeh, Mafi rats.
שם אין. בניו יורק יש חלת רץ.
No, they're not. They're not. Huh? What are we doing over here? Halakha? What are we doing? Dirash? It's Netilat Yadayim. Maran says Netilat Yadayim. I'll Netilat Yadayim. You want to make the Yadayim? You would say. But the Yadayim make Netilat Yadayim. You're asking me or you're asking you? Who are you asking? I'm telling you Netilat Yadayim. מה זה aha? But we're telling you now, we're telling you, Al Netilat Yadayim. That's the Chetayla Maran says. What, this happened to you? What happened to you? Halakha l'maaseh. Okay, and you told him Netilat Yadayim? Perfect. Yotzeh. In Sefik. But Maran holds Netilat Yadayim. Anyway, the question was like this. Rabbi Trigger told us a case. He was building a mikveh in Dubai. The problem is they don't have water. They don't have rainwater. They have oil. Can you dip in oil?
Go wide, you go back.
So what did he do? They went to the Swiss Alps and they brought freezer trucks and they brought snow. As long as it's snow, it's not considered maim she'uvim. And they had to be special ice trucks to bring 40 se'ah of snow. And they bring it, now they have to be very careful. Once you get to Dubai, it's hot. So you have to make sure to get it from the truck into the mikveh before it melts.
Wow.
So that's very technical procedure where they have strainers, where anything that melts will just go out. And they put basically a block of ice in the board, and then it melts. And therefore it's not considered maim she'uvim. Fine. But in this case over here, if the guy's going to dip his heads in the pipe, there's 2 problems. Number 1, there's not 40 se'ah. Number 2, even if there was, it's maim she'uvim. It's in a pipe. It's not in a mikveh. So that's why he says at the end, they are not going to be tahor. So look at it says in English there. Look at 115. If someone immerses his hands into the water in the canal, it's not valid for the mitzvah of Adam. Since it is drawn water, it is possible to immerse one's hands only in a natural body of water. Right? That was never carried by a container. someone places his hands underneath the water spilling from the bucket or next to the place where the water spills from the bucket into the canal, so the water flows over his hands at that point, it is valid because then everybody's considered koach, gavra. Top of here, gentlemen. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen. Tomorrow morning, for interesting cases. Bihananya. Unless יש לו גבס או משהו כזה. תורה וידיר. אמן. יש שומר במברך לעולם, ברך משתבח. עלמא. מלך אישה ברכו. אמן. Question, Gary?
Okay, bro. Oh, brother.
Were you before Sukkot?
Could we what?
We take, don't take the water from out.